Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy Kate Fings.
We're back, man. Episode 232.
Yes, sir.
Your nose is breathing on the mic, by the way. I just heard it.
Well, that's a good mic then.
That's just that. Damn.
It's all that yoga I've been doing, man.
Well, welcome to a Nostrils Mind podcast. All right, let's get right into it. Lizzo. Recently, Lizzo was just out in the world minding her own business, and she was asked a question.
Aries
She wasn't.
Spears.
Excuse me. I'm getting into it, Keith. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Aries Spears, the comedian, was asked a question in regards to her talents, and he just took it left. All right. Let's see here.
You might have to.
Huh?
You got to play the clip though.
I don't have the clip, man.
It's on YouTube. I texted it to you.
Yeah, I got the quotes here though.
No, I'm saying, but it's just like
it's just more context to it.
Yeah, it's like when you reading, it kind of gives it a different tone. Like when you're reading
so you
it,
can really understand it.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up right here. You just put in Aries Spears, it'll pop
Yeah.
right the fuck up.
They already know.
Okay, here it is, right here at the top.
Lizzo.
Hold on.
Yo, you know somebody that actually make good music, man? Lizzo. I guess a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the shit emoji.
Yo.
Very beautiful girl. She's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body off, nigga. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. I'm sorry. Listen, I ain't the most in shape nigga in the world. I think I'm at least handsome, but a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble.
All right. All right. I think that interviewer kind of almost coerced him into making that. He knows he's a comedian, and he knows Lizzo kind of has been in the news for doing things like having her ass cheeks out at the Laker game and shit. Here's my take on it, right? My take on it is basically, I feel like Aries Spears, it was his attempt at comedy. I wasn't crazy about the joke, but I just think when you get asked something about someone's music and you take it left, like, I'm not into the whole body shaming and fat phobic and fat shaming, but that right there, that was definitely on the cusp. Definitely on the lines of fat shaming. Like, it was just unnecessary. It's just unsolicited fat shaming. At the end of the day, man, I hate a lot of these terms that are used today, but bro, that was textbook fat shaming. Like if there was like a definition in the actual dictionary, it would be Aries Spears just bringing up how fat she is for no fucking reason. That was fucked up. It was fucked up. Especially if you're a guy that's out of shape, man. Just don't fling around other people being fat when you look fucked up. But he did say that about himself.
I think it makes it a little more palatable. Like if I am in a person that weighs like 190 pounds is talking crazy about somebody that's overweight, it may look a little worse than
probably
somebody that's like misshaped like Aries Spears.
Yeah. My thing is ultimately though the idea of the shaming. I don't know if it was shaming. It kind of is on the lines of that only because he brought up her being fat for no fucking reason. But yeah, there's just no reason for you to bring up that she was fat, man. That was fucked up. It was an attempt at humor. It was an attempt at a joke. And he's a comedian. But I think I could see where she would be offended or people who support her are offended. And it just, to me, yeah, I didn't see it. But then the people who supported Lizzo came out in the droves and they talked about Aries and said, you're an asshole and you're fat and you're ugly and you're this and that. Well, here's the problem with that. I get that you're responding back, but you are doing the same thing he was doing. If you accuse him of fat shaming, you turn around and did the same thing to him. So here's the problem. I think that people have, they have this moral code. Don't fat shame. That's not right. But they turn around and do the same exact shit. Like, that's got to stop. But another thing we have to understand as a culture is shame is a universal thing. It's not just men talking about women's bodies. Women have a culture of shaming men. Like, they life shame men. You know, where you hear women say things like, ooh, that's big dick energy. Why is a big dick synonymous with something good? and small dick energy is like synonymous with something bad. It's some dude out in the world with a small penis, and he's like, "Fuck, I didn't do anything wrong."
Yeah.
And I think that in a way is definitely body shaming, but it's culturally appropriated, and women don't see a problem with it. They will literally be like, "Oh hell no!" Like a guy can't even get a nice truck. He gets a nice lifted truck. Oh, he's definitely compensating for something. He must be small in some areas. I've heard women say this all the time, right? So shame is a universal thing. In this case, it just was uncalled for. I feel like it was.
I think with Aries Spears, this is to me. I try to like give comedians grace,
Right?
and not in the joke itself, but in the idea of like comedy. Like when you're doing these interviews, or these are and I would coin these as the Vlad TV style interviews.
Right.
They have different platforms now, like Say Cheese and I think it's a dude named Cam Capone. Vlad, obviously, they do a lot of these interviews where they get the celebrities and then they get their takes on things. And they know that, you know, if Aries Spears is talking about Bill Cosby, there's going to be a clip that comes out of it. And they know that, you know, Aries Spears, TK Kirkland, all these different, Lord Jamal, they know that these people are like, they gonna have some hot takes and it's gonna be funny. Even what's the dude that do the Steve Harvey impersonation?
Godfrey?
Yeah, Godfrey. They know these guys they're going to give them moments based on, you know, the different subject matters. So I don't necessarily know, I don't know if he like necessarily coerced him into it, but the whole interview was a coercion or whatever, because they know that this is like, they know that they're going to get some good stuff. And he knows that Aries Spears is a funny person, so he's going to get some good material out of it. But I think that Aries Spears, he is very opinionated and he walks the line a lot, you know, in terms of like the edginess in his comedy. And this is like the price you pay when it comes to you know, trying to be, you know, funny for the sake of being funny, and, you know, kind of like dismissing somebody's actual feelings in the name of comedy. And, you know, am I coming to the defense of Lizzo? No, not really. I don't think this is that serious. In terms of like Aries Spears, you know, if he receives any backlash, you got to understand, you got to read the room in a sense.
Yeah.
You got to know that, you know, if you say something a little bit edgy, if you say something that you say something without being mindful of the climate and, you know, what's going on in terms of the body shaming and, you know, how much people love Lizzo and how much people have come to the defense of Lizzo in terms of, you know, what she's dealt with publicly, and, you know, the comments and the hateful things that people are saying in their comments, and you kind of like dismiss all that and, you know, try to have a funny moment. This is kind of what comes with it. In terms of like the joke itself, I personally thought it was funny. I thought that whole I didn't watch the whole interview, but that segment that clip came from, I thought was pretty funny. But it's just like, we as content creators, we as people that are communicating on platforms that are being posted out to the world, it's just is what comes with it. And, you know, I think that he's kind of doubling down on it, and you can't really cancel a guy like Aries Spears.
No.
Like he kind of moves at his own accord. He probably, you know, is probably going to sell out more shows after this.
Yeah, to his defense, there's some women saying some malicious shit about him. Like really bad. They just over the top bad shit. Like, you'll never be shit. That's why your career is like this, and you this and you that. And it's just like, if you're accusing him of that, you're doing the same fucking shit. Yeah. But I will say, I think comedians have an idea of what they're doing. Like even with Chris Rock, I think he had an idea that Jada might have been tired of his fucking jokes. I don't know. But I think comedians do have an idea of what they're doing. Like, they know that even if it's a lighthearted joke, you could tell when somebody's getting a little bit tired of being made fun of. Like, it's some dudes, I remember, it's like back in the day, I used to roast niggas. Like, they would try to roast me, and I would roast them back, and they'd be like almost ready to fight. Because everything was all good when you thought you were getting your jokes off, and then I start cracking jokes on you, and now you get mad. So that's how it is sometimes. But I will say this, with all due respect, the women are saying, oh, that's little dick energy, and he this and he that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's be clear. A man cannot change within his pants, but you can lose weight. And I'm just being honest, and I'm not fat shaming. I'm just being 100. Like, I'm a bigger dude myself, but you can fucking lose weight. I'm not gonna empathize with someone who is willfully overweight, and I'm not even speaking about her. I'm just saying in general, the way I look at weight and being overweight, it's a lot different because I was in the hospital with my dad when his toe was amputated due to diabetes. So you're not talking to a person out in the world that's being politically correct. And I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. Be whatever you want. Every body acceptance, all of this. No, I'm sorry. Being overweight is not healthy for you. It is not.
Yeah.
Does it mean you should be targeted and made fun of? Fuck no. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just stating the obvious, and I'm stating the facts here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would encourage everybody to try to be their higher self in that regard. Not to say that Lizzo's not living her best life, but, she was minding her business, and this motherfucker just brought her up like that. Well, he didn't bring her up. The fucking interviewer did.
Yeah. Lizzo got big clit energy.
Yeah. But you know what? Hey, what if men had a comparable statement for women that was demeaning? Like, let's say, for example, we made up some sexual thing for women. Like, oh, that's sloppy head energy.
That's dry pussy energy right there.
Oh, that's dry. That's little titty energy right there. That's flat booty energy. If we did that to women and we did that and we adopted the same language that women use against men, they would fucking lose it because it would be your body shaming. Well, you just like literally. What's the girl that got? Is her name Lotto? The big dick energy song, is that Lotto?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you literally got a song like. First of all, women don't. Like, I can't speak for women. There's some women that like big penises, right?
Somebody taking them out.
Somebody taking the Louisville Sluggers. But most women, if you have conversations with them, they'll be like, "Oh no, I'm not trying to go to the hospital."
Yeah.
What
about average dick energy?
Yeah, that's not bad. Like, some of us, we're the above average gang.
Slightly above average.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on here capping like I got a big old dick, but I do good for myself. I do good for myself, but I'm not gonna be on here like, yeah, I'm packing and stacking. I can handle my own. I can definitely handle my own.
That's hilarious.
That's wild though. Like, that should be a new thing. Like that, women be acting like it's just big and small dicks.
Yeah, what about the average guy?
Yeah. If you above average, bro, then you out here, man. You out here putting it down too.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talked about the who was it? One of those porn stars that was like a 3-inch penis gave me the time of my life.
Oh, the porn star said that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't say me because they're gonna be like, what the fuck did Keith just say?
I said me.
Yeah, you said me. But the porn star, basically, Keith is referencing a porn star that said that she slept with a dude that had a 3-inch dick, and it was the best sex of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch the language, man. They're gonna
I
be
didn't
like,
hear that.
Yeah, you didn't hear it. That shit sounded wild.
What did I say?
They would have called you a fucking glizzy gobbler in the comments.
That's fine.
I knew that nigga liked glizzies, yo.
Our podcast will be crazy right now. The whole LGBTQ community supporting our podcast.
I found a new podcast. They'll be rewinding that part like, you see what Keith said? I always knew it.
Yeah. He could switch my gears any day.
I gobble his glizzy any time of the weekend. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think we need to be a little more objective when it comes to like the idea of shaming. Yeah. But in this specific case, since it's Lizzo, no, I don't think that Lizzo deserved that comment. But I do also think that just because you're fat, it does not make you just because you're overweight, or just because you're black, or just because whatever the fuck you are, or you're trans, whatever you are, it doesn't mean somebody can't joke on you. Mm-hmm. If you talk about, body acceptance and all these things and how you should be seen as a everyday person, you can still get these jokes.
Yeah.
You can still get these motherfucking jokes.
I'm curious to know what Andrew Schultz has to say. I'm sure they'll
don't
talk
know.
about it on this week's podcast.
Yeah, he probably
Because I always like, obviously we do stand up, but we not like in it like some of these
Right.
guys that are touring and doing shows in New York and all this. And like I said, Aries Spears. His job on there is to create content.
right.
He's not on there. He's not on there to say Lizzo makes good music. He's on there to say Lizzo looks like the ish emoji. You know what I mean? That's not. They don't want him on there to give a straight answer about anything.
True. I think that as a comedian too, I think it's important to you can make general like jokes that are fucking hilarious that don't include anyone. Like I was thinking of one right now in my head. I thought about a joke, and I'll give this one away to the podcast, but I'll probably use it on stand up since I'm going to refine that joke. But the joke is basically like one day I was wiping my ass, and it made me realize why I don't eat ass. Because I was wiping for like the 90th wipe.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know most Americans don't wipe better than me. You know what I'm saying? So
most Americans is lazy.
Yeah, most Americans only getting 70 wipes. I'm getting 90. Getting 90 wipes, and it still ain't all out of there.
Yeah, most Americans give up. So definitely if you eating ass, you eating a little bit of doo-doo.
Yeah, and you see how quick they give up on everything. It's like, come on, man. Come on. and they'll be like, well, and I'm like, I'm just going to stick to pussy. Like, I'm just going to stick to eating pussy, man, because that ass is too much. You're like, but you're eating pee. It's like, look, I'll take a little bit of urine, okay? I'd rather take a little bit of urine than a lot of...
Marquez beat up Manny Pacquiao drinking some urine. So
You said what?
I said Juan Manuel Marquez beat up Pacquiao drinking some urine. So
he went and drunk some Pisserade and beat his ass.
Pisserade. That lemon, was that lemon lime flavor or that lemon flavor?
Yeah, he knocked him. He was on some shit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on some shit when he beat him up.
There's so many dirty athletes out there.
Oh yeah, most
and they
of
be
them.
having all the excuses. Like Canelo was talking about, it's a higher concentration of something in the meat in Mexico and all this other stuff.
No.
Yeah,
You
and
know-
I'm sure the doctors and the physicians and stuff that be taking all this blood, they be like, "Come on, dog."
Yeah,
They'd probably be laughing.
Yeah, my thing is this: if you do steroids or whatever you do, I mean, do your thing. But please, don't be one of those motherfuckers that are like, why does everybody assume that I'm on steroids? I just put my faith in God. I work hard. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Shut up, motherfucker. I've seen you put the needle in your butt.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop
you got
it.
titties.
Yeah, you got, what do you call that? A gynecomastia. Like, you have gynecomastia. Like, I like Stylebender. What's his name? Israel Adesanya. I like Israel Adesanya, but he was on fucking gear. You can see it in his chest. He had gynecomastia really bad. His left nipple was hanging like I think it was his left nipple. That shit was puffed up. I'm like, yo, that's definitely effects from anabolic steroids.
Either he breastfeeding or he got gyno.
And people say like, well, they're all buff, like, or they'll say like, oh, well, he's not all buff. You got to understand what PEDs mean. They're not always for like bodybuilders. They're performance enhancing drugs. Yeah. Performance enhancing drugs. Look at Lance Armstrong. He wasn't no big old swole motherfucker.
It could just help you recover from injuries.
Yeah.
And, if you working out 2 times a day, just being able to have that energy to go to the gym the next day.
He was also blood doping. Blood doping, which is, I guess, just removing blood from the body and putting it back in. So he was doing all kinds of shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these motherfuckers be unnatural like a mug. Like, I mean... Or it'll be somebody that's completely juiced up bad, like real juiced up.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yeah, man. He's like, I don't know how everybody thinks I'm not natural. It's this dude named Michael Hearn, this older white dude. He's like 52 or something like that. He is jacked, super jacked. Veins, super lean. You don't look like that in your 50s. You can look great naturally in your 50s if you work hard. But this motherfucker he just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lifting a bunch of weight, all that, like just a lot of mass.
We was talking about some of the kids in high school. We be at BHS trying to work hard and lift weights and zero period and all that, and then we playing certain schools and they got pimple face.
I'm gonna put them out there. The main schools in Bakersfield that be doing steroids in high school: Stockdale, Liberty, and Centennial. Those are the main schools that be on steroids. Them kids be on gear, and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. I wouldn't, I'm not Bakersfield Christian. I wouldn't say them. You know, they just believe in God. But
Yeah, they got faith over there.
They got faith over there.
They also don't be having like though. They don't even look like that. Like they don't look like that.
Bacon for Christmas be having some good ass players there here and there though.
Yeah, they be having. I mean, they got it over there. Like they got good athletes, but just the way they look aesthetically, it don't look like some of them.
The kids,
Xander, what dude name Xander for?
I don't even want to call that kid out, man.
Yeah.
It was a kid that went to Centennial back in the day. And he just looked like a grown man. The motherfucker looked like a WWE wrestler out there on gear, like a mother. He had acne and shit all over his arms playing high school football, running everybody over. I'm like, this guy.
There was even a couple guys that ran track that was on gear.
Oh yeah,
during my era.
Yeah, man. That's bad though. Kids shouldn't take gear because they're so young. They haven't reached their natural potential. At least if you're going to take steroids, take that shit when you've reached your natural potential at like 27 years old, 26. I know you know who steroids would be great for? Me. Believe it or not. I'm not taking it, but once you get in your late 30s, you're not building tests like that. So if you were to take not even like steroids, but TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, that's what Joe Rogan does, where it's not like this huge cycle, but it's like enough to get your test levels up, you know. But I'm not doing none of that, man. I'm gonna just stick to the natural, man.
Yeah, I had a friend that was doing steroids like regularly, and it was just terrible experience, like emotionally. You know, his emotions was all over the place. He got angry his period and stuff. Yeah, so it's not ideal. No, you look good, but you know, outside of that. Yeah,
no thanks. From it. All right, let's switch it. Let's switch gears. Switching gears. Art teacher under fire for voluptuous curves. Okay, here's the deal, man. This teacher is under fire because she has a giant ass, and this is all not natural. This is an Instagram body. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's the truth. Big old fake injected lips, big old giant booty that's fake. She got fat sucked out her stomach. She just looks like an Instagram clone, right?
Yeah.
And art teacher under fire for voluptuous curves as parents accuse her of being a distraction. And there's some photos where she just looks like I don't know, like a Bug's Life. You know how they got that big sack on their ass? Yeah. That's what she looks like, and it's just terrible. Art teacher under fire, voluptuous curves as parents accuse her of being a distraction. Parents at the preschool where she works are criticizing a New Jersey art teacher. The bone of contention is her curvy physique and fatigue and figure hugging clothing. Her curves, according to parents, are a distraction for their kids. The teacher is quite popular on Instagram, where she regularly shares photos of herself in class or engaging in other fun activities outside school. She's sharing a lot fucking more than that. I just seen her IG. Some parents are calling for her to be fired, while others say she should wear clothes that hide her curves. Under both New Jersey and federal labor law, it would be illegal for school to fire a teacher based on their physical appearance, which is perhaps why there's been no action taken against the supposed complaints that have been made in regards to the woman's looks. I'll say this. This woman is wearing some things, in my opinion, that's, you know, some of the stuff's appropriate. Some of the stuff's fine. But other stuff is like obvious for attention. She's got almost 1 million followers on Instagram, first of all. So when you're a teacher and you are intentionally trying to get that much attention, and it's not for your art, it's for your BBL and your fake titties, mouth, everything. And people say, like, you know what, Eddie, it's not okay for you as a man to make comments about a woman's body. They can do whatever they want. And you would be right to say that. That would be a correct statement. However, let's flip this shit around. Let's say I'm a guy and I'm extremely well endowed. I got like a 12-inch penis, right? And I'm wearing skinny jeans. And I'm in school with your kids, by the way, and I got skinny jeans. You can see my print going down my pants. I guarantee you would not want your daughter in the class with me being her fucking teacher. I guarantee you would not want me around your kids.
Ooh, Mr. McGee, what is that?
It's a snake. Yeah, you wouldn't want that because in actuality, it is inappropriate.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you need to see what's going on with you. There's a certain amount of self-awareness. I think with her, it's intentional. She just wants to dress like wild all the time, you know. But like as a teacher or at certain jobs, there's a certain amount of responsibility that comes to those jobs. As a truck driver, I can't walk around drunk all day. I can't get shit-faced drunk when I get off of work because my blood alcohol levels will be too high the next day at work. And guess who would have his CDL taken from him, basically? Me. If you do a blood alcohol test as a CDL holder, especially as a hazmat driver, and your shit's over, you're fucked.
Yeah.
They're going to get you, as they should. But basically all I'm trying to say, in a nutshell, is this teacher knows what the fuck she's doing. Not to mention, if you want to post those thought pictures, that's fine. Post them. But don't put the kids on the same fucking page. Create another Instagram where you put only the kids on there.
Yeah.
You know, I know this chick. I'm not going to say any names. I know a chick that's 34. She's a teacher. And I was watching some Snapchat photos, and she was twerking with a G-string on. And people would be like, yo, why are you judging other people's life? I'm not judging their lives. All I'm saying is that when you're something like a teacher, teachers used to be leaders, and they were literally neutral with no real sexual like value. They just was teachers.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I had real teachers. I had real teachers that came to teach. But these teachers now is a new wave of women that just want fucking attention. They even want it at school. Why are you at school with hard nipples and I can see your fucking nipple rings through your shirt?
Yeah.
And people will say, well, why, then stop being a pervert. I'm not a pervert. I'm a man. I'm a human being. You know, the same way women see dudes in gray sweatpants and could point out their dick print. Yeah, the same way y'all do that. As men, we objectify each other. That's just human nature. Like, looking at somebody really isn't that bad of a thing.
Yeah.
But when you at school, I've seen girls that like, oh, I'm a teacher, or I teach here. And it's like, how are you teaching with your nipples that hard around students?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Put a fucking sweater on or something, man.
Yeah. I think I have a few friends that are teachers, and they are very mindful of like their social media presence. Not all of them have like private accounts and stuff like that, but they're just very mindful of the things that they're posting on the internet, because I have a friend who's a teacher who also raps. And when he got hired, he made sure to kind of tuck a lot of the songs. And mind you, his songs aren't even bad. It ain't no shoot 'em up, bang, bang, or it's not no super overly sexual stuff, but he just wanted to clean up his social media presence, or his internet presence, because he just didn't want anything coming back and ruining his opportunity. And a lot of times, you get teachers get tenured pretty fast, maybe like within 5 years or something like that. So after that, you gotta do something outlandish to get fired. But I just think there's a certain level of professionalism that you have to have in any sort of job, like even for me, I worked with kids for a few months, and you just kind of go in and you just want to be the adult in the room.
Right.
And I think that this girl has like intentions that are all over the place. And the sad part about it is she's really good. Like, she's really good at drawing.
Yeah, she's a great artist.
And stuff. And it's just like, it just seems like a huge distraction. Like, she seems like she doesn't really know what she wants out of life.
Yeah.
She wants to be, it seems like she wants to be taken serious as a teacher, art teacher, and an artist. But in reality, like, she wants to be like this thick Instagram model.
Better make a choice.
And she's in the classroom, like, taking these pictures. And I'm like, who? I'm like, one, is there somebody taking these pictures? And two, like,
are you a student?
That's wild. And two, like, are you setting up your camera just to take pictures of your booty while you drawing on the board and stuff?
It's too much, man. Yeah. And I've seen, and I'll just be real. I don't want to put this all on women, because objectively speaking, I think men are complicit in the reason why women act the way they act. I think that men lust for women so much to the point to where women don't have any problem with doing these things, even though it's inappropriate. There was literally I seen it today. It was it was literally some chick. She was standing like in the kitchen, and her kids are right there, and she was like flexing her bicep, but she had her butt facing the camera, and her ass cheeks was out, and it was like some little song, and she was like shaking her little booty, and then some comment popped up, and it's like, great role model, shaking your naked ass in front of your kids.
Yeah, that's wild.
And the thing about it, that's what a lot of women are doing, and they don't even realize that they're doing something weird. That's weird.
I seen one video.
You're including your kid in a fucking thirst trap. That's weird.
I seen one video where this parent was like peeing on the toilet, and then their kid walked in, and to me it looked like single mom behavior. But the kid walked in and was like, "Mommy, are you bleeding again? Is it that time of the month? Are you bleeding again?" She was like, "No, honey, I'm just using the bathroom." But it was just weird to me that a 3-4-year-old kid like is that aware of like a woman's body. You know what I mean? Like me as a 30-year-old man, I still don't really have a full grasp of like what the menstrual cycle, what goes on, right? And I don't need to know, you know? And I obviously, like if I have a daughter and she's dealing with certain things, then I need to know. But outside of that, like that's not really none of my business.
Go to your mom over there.
Exactly.
Go talk to your mom.
But I just think we live in a space now where like people make that like, they think that inclusiveness, you know, as far as their kids, or
it's too much.
They could walk around in their panties while their son is walking around, and like just some weird, this like very weird behavior. Yeah,
and it's just too much. I think that in this progressive world that we live in, I think that we've allowed too much delusion to seep into the world. Mm-hmm. Like you need to put some fucking clothes on. You got your ass all out. Yeah. And the thing about
and he's in the video too.
It's too much. Stuff. It's too much. Honestly, I'll say this. It may sound like, you know, two guys on there and we're mansplaining to you about women's bodies, but let me be very fucking clear. When I want to deal with a woman in any capacity, I'd rather have a woman who is a leader, because I'm going to need someone to be a role model to my daughter. Yeah. I need a woman that's about being a mom. Mm-hmm. I see grown ass women with kids with their ass cheeks out on the internet, and then they put like body positivity. Like, stop this dumbass shit. Mm-hmm. This shit is dumb, but like I said, men share a bulk of the blame because men lust after women so bad that this is what they doing.
Yeah.
And women think that it's acceptable because men ain't gonna call them out. Mm-hmm. Men gonna be like, "Damn girl, you perfect." You ever seen
just a lot of people, a lot of the guys we know following her. It's guys in relationships and dang near married and stuff.
It's inappropriate as a man if you got a girl that you married to be following a bunch of thoughts on the internet. Mm-hmm. That shit is inappropriate, because what if she was following a bunch of dudes? What if she was following a page of BBC's Daily? You know, your girl on there looking at a bunch of BBCs on the internet on
BBC's Daily
on Instagram. Hashtag Instacocks. You'd be like, yo, what the fuck is my wife looking at?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, men are heavily inappropriate. This is not just me talking about women, but I think that it also comes down to people not having enough respect for their relationships too. I'm not gonna be looking at that type of shit and I'm married, dude. Mm-hmm. But it's just full circle. I don't want to get too far off of this. I think with her, a lot of women are under attack, and they're under attack from attention. I think that women are fighting a battle against respect and attention, and I think a lot of women are choosing attention. Mm-hmm. And if you don't believe me, go to your timeline and just click through it, and it's gonna be a girl standing sideways, twisting her booty towards the camera, taking a picture.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a bunch of pictures like that, a bunch of them. It's like a booty has become a college degree almost. Have you noticed that?
Heck no.
What you mean?
I realize it, but no way does that equate to like.
It doesn't equate to it, but if you got a big booty, you get 950,000 followers, which could turn into you getting a OnlyFans, which means you could make more money than a person with a college degree with no college debt. Hello, Keith. Hello.
You got doctor's debt though. Them BBLs is expensive.
Hey, they done bought that BBL over 10 times over. That BBL done paid itself off.
That's crazy.
They got that. Yeah, they got that ROI like a motherfucker.
I wonder if Joe Biden will have like BBL like loan forgiveness.
And Joe Biden got BBL forgiveness. What I'm gonna do is, everybody out there that got a BBL during the pandemic, we're gonna cut you some slack. We're gonna get you a doctor to get another checkup on it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get that debt out of there.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden will just walk off the stage and like shake an imaginary hand and then walk the fuck off.
And Kamala Harris hop in. This administration, we're just gonna attack the BBLs. The previous administration, they didn't do anything about the BBLs.
Kamala Harris be like, the people, they tend to not understand that the BBLs in America are an issue, but we're going to do BBL forgiveness programs so these young ladies can get better BBLs. Yo, Kamala is fucking hilarious. Yo.
Aries Spears. We're not going to body shame Aries Spears.
Oh man, I think Joe Rogan was doing an impression of Kamala Harris, bro. I was fucking crying.
Really?
Oh, bro. He's like, they'll bring up an important issue and she'll almost filibuster it and go around the question.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, see, the fragments of time are basically a conjunction with how we move as a collaborative parallel with society. And when we come together as a unit, men and women as a whole, we can see things wrong, right, or indifferent. And as a country, we can change these things. And that's why I feel that student lunches should be free. You'd be like, what the fuck did you
Kamala
just say?
Harris, I just asked what time it was.
Yeah, yeah. I think politicians they have a masterful way of jumping around a question. Mm-hmm. But when you have any form of intellect, like you can see straight through that shit. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, hey, nice try. You didn't answer the question, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Answer the question. Mm-hmm. You can't, bro. I bet you can't even ask Joe Biden a question, man.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, but I don't care who you are, liberal, conservative. We all know that Joe Biden is fucking up.
I will say that if Joe Biden he says he's going to do the student loan forgiveness.
Yeah, he said that.
If he gets that done, then he getting another term.
I don't know if that's enough.
No, it's too many college students that are living in that live. Because as a president, you just got to do one big thing. Yeah. All George Bush did was send troops over there to the Middle East, and then he got reelected, right? Like, you just got to do one thing where people is like,
but that wasn't really a right thing to do. It was just a response. Wars historically.
It's a wrong thing in retrospect.
Yeah,
and in real time, we like, oh, we gotta go over there. Yeah. So, but you just got to do one thing.
But we normally don't reelect a president during a war, though. Usually that war will spring a second term.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't normally be like, oh, we need to get a new president. We usually stick with the same leadership when there's some type of foreign conflicts.
Most presidents do get reelected. Donald Trump is he's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Most politicians get reelected.
Donald Trump is just, my thing is this is what I'll say. Not a fan of Donald Trump at all. However, I feel like the Democrats is going to try to get him out of here, bro. That's the only way he is not going to get reelected is that the Democrats get him arrested. The only way for him not to win is if they take this nigga to jail. If they cannot, if Donald Trump is like, if he gets out of this shit and he's like, it's just a hoax, it's a Democrat hoax. Democrats are trying to get me again. And they keep trying to get me. They got me with the COVID. I beat COVID, and I'm gonna beat this next election. You'd be like, oh my God. And then when somebody
just had lunch with Kanye West, very, very talented.
I had lunch with Kanye West, very talented black,
very talented
black, very fine black, and I'm going to get reelected. And when it comes down to me getting it done, I'm gonna get it done because this is for America. Yeah. Very fine country, very fine people. It's fine on both sides. Yeah, you're like, God damn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that he will be reelected if he don't go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way. Supposedly, Andrew Yang might run.
Yeah, I don't think he got it.
You don't think so?
He don't got the juice.
He got it.
He got good ideas, but he don't got that it factor.
Yeah, man.
He's just a role player.
Yeah, kinda. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gotta be a little more aggressive, man. He could be president though, but he just seemed like he too young and cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do need younger leadership, man. Donald Trump and Biden old as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
They too old. They both taking dumps in their pants, man. We need somebody else in there.
Yeah.
Hey, I guarantee you, as much as a lot of conservatives don't like Barack Obama, I guarantee you, for any reason, let's just say, and it won't because you only get 2 terms as president. If they allowed Obama to get a 3rd term, Obama would be president.
Oh, for sure.
He would easily win the presidency.
I'm sure there was some Republicans out there like, man, I hate niggas, but that Obama, he was all right.
I mean, he was all right. He was only 50% nigger, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't get the full nigger effect. Oh man, it's like he was a cotton picker, but he's a good president. Yeah, Barack knew how to talk to people.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a very eloquent way about him in which he could get a point across. Even when, like, if he had, like, conservatives are like, you're trying to take our guns, man. You're trying to take our guns, and you want to, all these shootings going on in Chicago, in the south side of Chicago, with these thugs, and you want to take our guns because of that? And then I remember...
I was raised in Chicago. Went to school with Lil Durk's dad, actually.
I went to school with Big Dirk.
We'd slide on niggas in our spare time.
I went to school with Big Dirk, and we had a class in 6th period. And in that class, we learned gun safety. More Americans need gun safety, and I'm not trying to take it. Hey, trust me when I tell you, I'm not trying to take your guns. I'm working on an elaborate plan to make it safer for all Americans, black, white, and in between. And, sir, if that answers your question, is there anything else? Yeah, I want to know what we're going to do about these blacks. All these blacks running around here. What are you going to do about that? Well, we're only 13% of the country. So unless you're in Atlanta, you really don't have to worry about blacks.
And for those of you that were wondering, Michelle does not have a BBL. God bless America.
Yo, Michelle, she got thicker, bro.
She got thicker.
Hey, I don't want to look. I may sound like a pervert for saying this, but they're both over the age of 18. His daughters.
Yeah.
And one of them is stacked.
Really?
Jesus. Oh my God. It was recently they had a picture of her. And she's probably at least by now, like 26 or some shit like that.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, she's up there.
I don't know.
One of them, 20.
I don't.
Yeah, but one of them is, oh, geez.
Mm-hmm.
She's super stacked. I was like.
Somebody wasn't one of them dating like a rapper or something?
I was about to get past Secret Service. Huh?
I'm dead.
So what?
Wasn't one of them dating like a rapper or something like that?
I don't know. I'll Google Obama daughters. Sasha Obama, Malaya.
I wonder what life is like post like president.
Sasha is 21.
Oh, she's young.
Yeah, she's young. I don't know if that's the older one.
No, the other one gotta be the older one's older. Yeah.
She's 24. Malaya.
24. She's 24. Dang, I'm thinking they old, like a little bit older.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
Think one of the Malaya, the older one, she be getting twisted.
Smoking weed.
She be smoking blunts and everything.
Yeah.
I know you see my daughter. She was smoking some Reggie. I said,
dead.
You got to get some real shit.
Smoking on the Zaza.
Smoking on Zaza. Can you imagine Barack Obama talking behind one of those like Pop Smoke beats? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Well, who's the producer for Pop Smoke? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Is that considered drill music?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, the bass line.
Yeah, like, yup. Mm-hmm. Barack on the beat.
That
it's Sasha. Sasha's the one that's
she's stacked. That's crazy.
She look like she don't eat nothing but brisket sandwiches. Just straight brisket. Somebody's gonna call me a pervert, but she's a grown woman. I can say that.
Yeah, man. That's what happens when you get grown.
Yeah, you get grown. You get these comments. Yeah. Oh man. Yep, I was right. Yep, it's definitely.
She get it from her mama.
They're definitely both beautiful girls.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. I don't follow them on Instagram, but I'm sure there's probably
they got Instagrams?
I don't know if they do.
Oh.
I feel bad for them in a way because they never got a chance to have real childhoods. That's why they, kind of lashed out a little bit. Mm-hmm. They got, when they were in office, they got busted at a party drinking and like smoking weed. And then Fox News is like, the Obama daughters are doing, and they don't have any control in their household. So what are they going to do? Fox News, they have this toxic conservative like viewpoint on there.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it, and CNN sucks balls too, but with Fox, what's the Tucker Carlsons and all of the world, like the previous administration, the same thing happened with George Bush's daughters. Mm-hmm. They was getting lit. They was getting drunk. One of them had like a beer bong too. Mm-hmm. They was just trying to be kids.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to be a kid when your dad is fucking Barack or George Bush or LeBron James?
You tired of getting followed around?
I feel so horrible for Bronny James, man. You got grown adults like, is Bronny dating someone right now? Like, leave him alone. Mm-hmm. He's a kid. I'm sure Bronny get hella pussy though. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Bronny can't step out the house. Your dad's LeBron.
Yeah.
He probably it's probably because of the culture. There's probably some grown woman in the neighborhood that's like, Bronny, if you need anything, just come over. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
It happens, man.
They probably done smacked a couple of
21-year-old. There was actually there was a girl that was like on Instagram that was supposed to be dealing with. She was 20 and he was like 17.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, geez.
Yeah. No, he got it. When he officially hit 18, he could do whatever he wants.
It's gonna be all kind of wild stories, like grown ass women. Remember back in the day when Colin Kaepernick first came to the Niners, he was like 24, 23, and he had he was on a date with Sanaa Lathan.
No, I don't remember that.
Sanaa Lathan is old, bro. She fine as fuck, but she old. She like 51, 52, something like
crazy.
that. Yeah, she looked like she could pass for 30s.
Colin was a guy before he settled down. Like he had a run.
Yeah, he had a run. He had like some track stars. The girl was on a track team. Like yeah, Colin was snagging him and bagging him.
Yeah, before he took that knee, he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, before he took that
knee deep in a lot of these women.
Yeah, before he took that knee, he was knee deep in some Hollywood stuff. He took that knee. He was like, I just want to make sure. Like his voice is very like distinct.
Yeah.
He has a very distinct voice. It's like it's a mixture of nerdy, like nerd plus helium.
Yeah. It's nerd plus helium.
If you get a nerd and you put some helium in his voice, that's Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah. Just focusing on football right now. I got love for my community, my supporters. Just ready to play ball, man.
Conservatives, burn him! Burn him! Put him on a... It'd be crazy. It'd be some people... It's people that are conservative. There's people who are like conservative and toxic conservative. Yeah. Like if somebody is racist and conservative, their views be wild. Mm-hmm. They'd be like, back in the day, he wouldn't be able to talk like he is right now. Yeah. We would have dealt with him. Yeah. And there'd be another conservative like, hey, what do you mean, man? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Like it's 2022, man.
Like, hey, that's not right, man. He's like, I don't agree with Colin, but like you're trying to put him on a cross and burn him, man.
Fighting each other.
Yeah.
I'm conservative, but not that kind of conservative.
Yeah, like for example, me and Keith, we probably lean a little more left, but we ain't that goddamn liberal. Yeah. Because these liberals be weirdos, bro.
They be doing some weird stuff.
They be like, it's completely okay if men want to get pegged. It's just peg sexual. And I think that they should like step up for themselves. It's like,
if a woman wants to shake her ass on social media in front of her son, it's perfectly okay. She's just exposing him to sex.
Yeah, it's like, you mean incest, motherfucker? Yeah, get out of here.
That was the type of kid, kids don't have no filter. That kid will walk around like, Mom, you got a fat ass.
Nah, it'd be, the kids would be at show and tell at school. Uh-huh. They'd be like, okay, Derek, what would you like to show and tell today? My mom got wet pussy. What
the heck?
Like, yo, who is this fucking kid? Got to do better, parents. Got to do better. All right, switching gears. Vanessa Bryant awarded $16 million in trial over crash photos. After Kobe and all of the people attending that flight had died, there were some photos that were shared amongst first responders. And the sick thing about it is you could imagine that they were probably decapitated or burnt and there was wreckage and things like that. And
They have a drawing of Kobe's body is and all the injuries.
really, oh my God,
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty crazy.
so it had to be super graphic.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can imagine seeing Kobe in that way, whether he was decapitated or little kids decapitated or burnt, and the plane was in horrible shape. You see the plane, how bad it looked. Just that is just, I guess, an illustration of how bad the bodies probably looked. And these motherfuckers are taking unauthorized photos. That's not okay, because there have always been crime scene photos.
You have to take the pictures.
But they're taken by specific professional. Like, for example, whenever you see documentaries that like, I guess they chronicle a murder or something, and it'll be a picture of somebody and a bunch of blood smeared on the wall, but they'll have like the face blurred out.
They got pictures of what's the girl's name that O.J. Simpson's?
Nicole Brown, his wife. Yeah, they got pictures of her, and they got like blood on the wall, like the Nightcrawler that was terrorizing people in L.A. They got a bunch of pictures of the people he murdered, elderly people that were like laid on the bed and stab wounds and gunshots and all kinds of shit. But that's for authorized people. As a first responder, you're not supposed to go and take photos of anyone. Your objective is to secure the scene and cover up the bodies or whatever. These motherfuckers took it to the next level. All right, here it is. A federal jury found Wednesday that Los Angeles County must pay Kobe Bryant's widow $16 million for emotional distress caused by deputies and firefighters sharing photos of the bodies of the NBA star and his daughter taken at the site of the 2020 helicopter crash that killed him. The 9 jurors who returned the unanimous verdict agreed with Vanessa Bryant and her attorneys that the photos of the remains of Kobe Bryant and their 13-year-old daughter Gianna invaded her privacy and brought her emotional distress. The jury deliberated for 4.5 hours before reaching the verdict. That's very fast. Vanessa Bryant cried quietly as it was read. An attorney for the county declined comment on the verdict outside of the courtroom. The pictures were shared mostly between employees of the LA County Sheriff's and fire departments, including by some who were playing video games and attending an awards banquet. They were also seen by some of their spouses, and in one case, by a bartender at a bar where a deputy was drinking. Vanessa Bryant tearfully testified during the 11-day trial that news of the photos compounded her still raw grief a month after losing her husband and daughter, and that she still has panic attacks at the thought that they might still be out there. I live in fear every day of being on social media and these popping up. She testified. I live in fear of my daughters being on social media and these popping up. Her co-plaintiff, Chris Chester, whose wife and daughter were also among the 9 people killed in the crash, was awarded $15 million. Okay. There were some comments on a Bakersfield news thread on Facebook, and some people are fucking idiots. They don't even read the article. Somebody said, wow, she got $15 million as if she did, just the rich keep getting richer. I'm like, you fucking idiot. Did you not read what she's going through? First of all, I had the privilege recently, after my father passed, I didn't have to watch him in his last breaths and see his expressions of his face as he passed on. I get to remember my father alive. I have the privilege of that. And knowing that I have the privilege of that, I would never want to see my father lifeless. But to compound it and make it worse for Vanessa Bryant, she should never have to see her child decapitated, her husband decapitated, those innocent kids decapitated. Everybody that took a picture should be in jail. They should not be we're going to fine them $16 million. They should be in jail. That's not okay. You literally, you invaded the privacy of my dead husband and daughter and all these kids. And it's like, yo, you got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
If Vanessa come after them again, I don't blame her. If she come after them for some other new lawsuit, please do it. Make an example of these officers. You're supposed to protect and serve. You are a public servant. I pay your salary. Why are you taking pictures of my dead kid? and my dead husband. What the fuck? And then you're sharing it.
That's weird.
Which shows you have a complete lack of empathy. My husband and daughter and all these innocent kids' death is amusement for you. All it is amusement and a story for you to tell. That's sick.
There's the movie Nope by Jordan Peele. Mm-hmm. There's a part in the movie where this to set it up, there's this child actor who's growing up now, and on the set of the show that he was acting in, there was a monkey, and the monkey basically went crazy, and he killed a bunch of the people on the set.
Oh fuck!
And in the present time, like when he grows up and he's talking about the experience, he's excited, like, "Oh man, you should have seen it!" Like, and this is a fictitious, scenario, but he's like, yeah, on SNL they did it perfectly. He was like, such and such was me. This other character was playing the mom on the show, and this other character was playing the dad. And he was like, they did it to a T, man. It was pure gold. And the idea behind the scene and a portion of one of the themes in the movie is this infatuation that we have with like tragedy. And they ended up showing, like in the movie, like when the monkey went crazy and he killed everybody. And when you see how graphic it was compared to how excited he was talking about it,
right,
you realize that that's the society we live in.
Yeah,
I'm sure Vanessa Bryant is like forever going to be in distress because of that situation. But to somebody else, it was just entertainment. Like, oh snap! Like, look at Kobe Bryant and his daughter. This is crazy, dog. And then they're sharing it amongst L.A.
Crazy. Those pictures are gonna get out. Like it, and the thing about it is when you get pictures like that, those things will go on a dark web. Somebody can buy them and sell them anonymously, and then those pictures, and let's say in the next 25 years, they'll pop up.
It's probably gonna be on TMZ.
Well, I don't think TMZ wouldn't share that. They know better. They know that somebody's been sued. So even though TMZ is a shit bucket, they also have enough legal.
But a lot of times it's like secondhand. So if it leaks somewhere and then TMZ, they could just run it and say like, hey, Kobe Bryant's pick. Not that they probably seen it.
Oh yeah, knowing them, they got connections.
Yeah, but they probably won't post it because they don't want to be the first people to post it.
Yeah, they got too many connections. And they were like the first to report this shit.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Before family members knew, before police officers.
TMZ just wanted to be first. We talked about it when it happened. Like, TMZ is just trash. But they've become like a source of news. When you see TMZ now, you just see like a news source. But they were trashy pieces of shit. And that's the only way we viewed them for years until they started like putting out things, and those things started to be real,
legit stuff.
Like legit stuff that would come out first. And it's like, yo.
I remember I seen that the dude with the dreads on there. I forget his name.
The black dude, I know.
Yeah, I seen him at my boy Don was playing drums at this bar, and he was in there. It was like in Huntington Beach or something like that. Oh, he was in there having a couple beers. It's like super random. This was years ago, but yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure that dude Harvey has security.
Probably so.
I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, he's like the amount of bad news he be breaking and how they be talking about certain celebrities. Yeah, he probably needs some type of protection.
I think he has a lawyer background, so I think he knows all the nuances and the parameters in which he can take to break a story. So that's why I'm saying like it would have to probably be some type of situation if those pictures came out. He couldn't be the first to report it, so he probably wouldn't even touch it. But here's the thing. A lot of you guys may be too young to remember this, but it was a website back in the day called Rotten.com. And on Rotten.com, it was just gruesome photos of people in death and shit. I don't know why it was so popular, but it was. And when I was like in freshman's 8th grade, whatever, back then, this website, it would have like drug cartels beheading people and people in Iraq beheading people and all kinds of wild shit. And some pictures like this would probably like pop up on that page.
Yeah.
Because it was all anonymous stuff.
You got to think though, like, and you were telling me about Kurt Cobain earlier, how that some of those pictures came out.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how Pusha T used
Whitney Houston's picture of her house.
Yeah.
Yeah, after she had I guess she had a really bad crack addiction, and when the police went in the house just looked like terrible, and he posted that.
He used it as his cover art.
Yeah, that shit was trash, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's why I don't really fuck with Pusha T like that. I don't get what people see in him being so dope. Like he's not a bad artist from a rapper sense, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you are old. Well into your 40s, man, and you talking about the same shit you've been talking
content.
about.
You don't care for the content. Yeah.
It's like, and it's like push. The crack makes it come and it goes. It's like shut the fuck up. You're a 40-something-year-old man still talking about crack. Like fucking stop, bro. You know what I hope? I'm just being God honest truth. I hope this platform gets big enough and that I can sleep on situations I really want to talk about and just start letting shit fly. Fuck it. And nobody else is going to say it, I'll say it. A lot of people are too afraid to hurt relationships with artists. Like the game is corny. He did an interview recently with Speedy. You know that dude Speedy? He did an interview with him and he said, yeah, you know, me and Kanye, me and him always been cool, even though, you know, on one of the records I had, I kind of disrespected her, you know, because me and her, I was seeing her before he was seeing her, you know, so, you know, I brought that up. And it's like, he just keeps bringing this shit up. And then he said he's like, honestly, it's not a big deal. Like Speedy, if I was messing with a girl and you mess with her, I would tell you first, yeah, she like it from the side. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
That's what he said.
That's wild.
And I was like, yo, this guy is fucking corny. Is he a good artist? Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Game is one of the best West Coast artists ever.
Yeah.
But he is the corniest motherfucker ever. God, he's corny. Corny.
That's wild to say.
I would not have any reason to talk to that guy. I've seen his interviews. He just be straight up lying.
I wonder what Kanye West thinks about that.
He said him and Kanye real cool.
Yeah, he was on his album, but I'm just kidding. Like Kanye, I don't think Kanye's ever talked about it.
Kanye doesn't know what Kanye thinks. He be like, honestly, right now, I can feel like this, but tomorrow I can feel like that. So, the genius inside of me, I don't know how I'm going to feel minute to minute. You be like, Kanye, take your medication, motherfucker. Take your fucking medication. Fuck. Yeah, but... yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers go out to Vanessa Bryant. This shit was terrible. This what she
but
went
what
through.
people don't realize too is that the $1 million is not for her to just put in her bank account.
No.
The $1 million, the millions of dollars is it's a penalty against the the sheriff's department or whoever got sued. Because that's at the end of the day, that's really the only way you can really hurt somebody.
Yep.
Because money talks. So.
Hit their pockets, and
Yeah.
between them, they got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Between the fire department and sheriffs, they got to pay that money.
Yeah, and they don't want to get rid of they don't want to get rid of that money.
No, they don't. And the thing about it, why does she? People so dumb. Why does she need more money? You just honestly, can you just say you don't like her? Can you say you just don't like Kobe Bryant? Can you just say that instead of wasting people's time? Because she lost her daughter and her husband, would you want somebody putting pictures of your fucking dead family out and about? That's weird.
That is weird.
That's weird. And some people just so dumb and they look for anything to confirm their own bias. She doesn't need that money, bro. She got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Kobe fucking got a deal. Was it like $300 million or some shit like that? Or it was off of a deal from, I think it was Vitamin Water or something.
Oh, the body armor.
Body Armor, I'm tripping,
Yeah.
not Vitamin Water.
I don't know the
It was
the
a lot.
amount, but he has some ownership in the company.
I think it was $100 million. I think it was.
Yeah, I
Is
don't
what he
know.
got back. So he making money in it. That's my biggest goal, especially if I have a family, is I want to be able to take care of my family when I'm gone.
Yeah,
I don't want when I'm gone, I don't want my wife to have to work, man. I just want her to be great. I want my kids to be great. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, leave them behind something so great that daddy taking care of them. You know what I mean? That's the goal I want.
Yeah.
And I think with Kobe, man, his deal with Nike, she got that is inked up, ready to go. That's worth hundreds of millions.
I think DeMar DeRozan is going to be like the leader of.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what they would call it. I don't know what his title is, but he's going to be the guy that is kind of like in the commercials, I guess.
Holy shit. I think they had like a relationship. Tatum had a relationship with him too.
Tatum too, yeah.
That's crazy.
A lot of that. The Kawhi, Kyrie, obviously, a couple other people.
Well, I mean, I'm talking like from the Nike. Like I know Kyrie had a one with him for sure.
That Kyrie and Kobe had a shoe together.
Yeah,
I think.
Damn, that's crazy. I've only had one pair of Kobe's my whole life. I gotta stock up.
I actually liked the shoes. It just never came to fruition. I think part of it is the shoe culture. Like they shoes be flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want some Kobe's. It's like I got some dope.
Kobe
silhouette.
had so many. He had them boots for a little bit. Them shits was dope.
Boots?
Yeah, the Kobe boots.
I don't remember those.
They're shoes, but they come all the way up. They high.
Oh yeah,
tops.
the super high ones. Yeah, I remember those. Yep.
Yeah, them shits. Yeah,
he was hooping in those.
Huh?
So he was hooping in those.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a regular shoe. It's just super high top.
Yeah, it was super high top. But Kobe was like creative. That was the dope thing about his shoes is, and maybe just the team in general, because I don't know how much influence he had on the designs, but just thinking outside of the box, which is
he had
cool.
so many. He had like a Bruce Lee version.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is so dope.
Yeah.
I know some guys that's real diehard Laker fans. Dude I used to work with named Cedric, and then Jose. Shout out to Jose Gomez. I don't know if you hear this, but Jose, a couple other people, and they always had Kobe's, bro. They was all like real big time Kobe fans. They really was Laker fans, like diehard. And I hit up Jose, and I think he wore like a 14 or 13 or something like that. I was like, bro, all I'm gonna tell you is you know that them 13, 14s, bro, they going for a lot right now. He's like, I ain't selling nothing.
Yeah, man.
He's like, I'm
sometimes
good.
Things are worth more. My friend, he has a vinyl collection, and he just posted like he was just going through. He's like, yo, this thing is it's worth some money. And then the next slide on the story was like $1,500. Like the vinyl was valued at $1,500. So it's like some people don't even care about the money in terms of like the value, sentimental value it has. It doesn't even equate.
Yeah, that's true.
$1,500 would be nice though.
What?
I'm saying the price of that vinyl was $1,500.
Yeah. Yeah. Some shit you just, you don't want to sell. But yeah, there's that. Prayers go out to her and the fam, everybody affected. Switching gears, Andrew Tate. Recently, Andrew Tate was taken off of, and first of all, I'll explain who Andrew Tate is. Andrew Tate is the most searched man in America. Did you know that? He is the most searched man on Google, Andrew Tate.
That's crazy.
If I put in Andrew Tate, matter of fact, I'll do it right now. I'm going to put in Andrew Tate, and it's going to pull up so much shit about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. How the king of toxic masculinity corrupted a generation. Damn, that is the least objective title. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Daily Mail wrote that. Shane Warren's son, Jackson, post of Andrew Tate. Toxic masculinity. Okay. All right. Basically, Andrew Tate is I don't even want to call him an influencer. He's just a guy that has. Hold on. Let me click on one of these. Andrew Tate complains that traditional masculine values got him banned from internet platforms. And Fox News interviewed him. Okay. They would. Famous misogynist Andrew Tate. Damn.
Yeah, they be going crazy.
Like, this is not objective. I know you don't like Andrew Tate. You don't have to like him. Right? I think he's a complete fucking asshole at times. But he does make... Before I even say this, I'll say with Andrew Tate, I don't hate Andrew Tate. I don't... At times, I think he's a piece of shit for what he says about women. But at the same time, I could find the good and bad in people, even Donald Trump or whoever else. Even people I don't like necessarily. Famous misogynist Andrew Tate in the past week has been kicked off several major internet services, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Damn, he got kicked off YouTube too? Fuck. TikTok and Twitch for violating their policies. In an interview on Fox Nation, Tucker Carlson today, released Thursday, Tate claimed the tech platforms barred him from flaunting what he said were traditional masculine values. They banned me simply because I had large swaths of population agreeing to a very traditional masculine values. I live a very traditionally masculine life, Tate told Carlson. I have fast cars and a big house and a lot of money and beautiful girlfriend. And they thought this was very, very threatening. And for some reason, they decided that it's better to annihilate me from the internet and replace me with somebody who's more aligned with whatever they're trying to propose. Last week, Meta said that it had permanently suspended Tate's account. Damn! Accounts from Facebook and Instagram violating companies' policies. Dangerous organizations and individuals similarly, YouTube banned Tate's channels, including Tate Speech. Wow. Not hate speech. They said Tate Speech.
Yeah.
That's God.
Point.
Citing multiple violations of the platform's community guidelines and terms of service, including its hate speech policy. I'll say this. I think that he had very strong opinions, and some of them were just him being a piece of shit, and other ones were very realistic, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. And to take somebody off every platform because you don't like what they say is crazy. And here's the thing. I want women to understand that whatever statement he made that was very misogynistic, I'm not agreeing with those statements. But here's what I'll tell you. I got to point out the women on this one. You got Tate off. Tate's off everything. But the same women that hate Andrew Tate will go to a Chris Brown concert and pay him $1,000 to take a picture. This is the same man who has abused multiple women. He literally abused Rihanna. If you look at those police reports, they're fucking wild. Mm-hmm. Also, another one was Karrueche. Supposedly, I guess it was a story out that he was putting his hands on her too. Mm-hmm. But women will line up in the droves to go to a Chris Brown concert knowing that he hits women. And even go to the lengths of spending $1,000 just to be seen with the guy. I just think that, honestly, you could get Andrew Tate off of there, but you got to keep the same energy. You rather spend $1,000 with a woman beater than go to a WNBA game for like $75. The WNBA is struggling, but women don't even go to them games. They rather see a woman beater. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Can somebody correct me on this? You rather go see a man, Chris Brown, who has put his hands on women multiple times, and even pay him $1,000, but Andrew Tate is the worst nigga? I don't support Andrew Tate. I'm not holding the flag for Andrew, but you got him off all the platforms. That's fine, but you still going to Chris Brown's concert after he can't keep his hands off women. Please explain that to me. Make it make sense.
I think it's a little bigger than how women feel about Andrew Tate, though. Like, for you to be kicked off of multiple social medias, it's like, it's the same thing with Donald Trump. What Donald Trump was doing was like, inciting, like he was riling up a sector of people that was doing real harm to people, and he was just promoting violence in some capacities. So outside of how Democrats felt about Donald Trump, like these social media platforms felt the necessity to I guess like mute his voice in a sense. And I think the same thing with Andrew Tate. They just felt like he was some of the things he was saying, and I don't know specifically the things that he was saying, but
I do. I know. I've seen a lot of his content.
They felt like the things that he was saying was just, they didn't want to be a part of.
That's it. They didn't want to keep giving him a platform to say the things he was saying.
Yeah.
But let's be very clear. If we're going to be objective about it, when it comes to Andrew Tate and they got him off of there, that's fine. But nobody was canceling Wendy Williams. In fact, Wendy Williams has a primarily female audience, and she was giving out information on Method Man that she slept with Method Man, right? Out of thin air, just unsolicited, just put out there that she used to sleep with Method Man, and Method Man is married. Not to mention, she broke a story on Method Man's wife and how she had cancer, and that family wanted to keep that private. But no one's canceling Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has been on for a long time. Nobody canceled her for what the fuck she was doing.
Yeah.
Right? But what I'll say is this. as a person who leans more liberal, I see the liberal bias on the internet. There is an extreme liberal bias on every platform. They will allow a liberal extreme to exist, but when the conservative extreme exists, they get it the fuck out of here. You know how many conservative like heads they remove from Twitter? A gang of them. Instagram too, got them off of there. Me personally, I don't have a problem with people having a platform as long as they are just not blatantly being hateful. I think what's going on is when you're too big and you don't, if you're that big and your message is not that of a liberal narrative, they're gonna get you the fuck out of there. That's what I've learned. With fucking because there's other people with platforms that they allow that are very, very liberal, but they be saying some wild shit. They just leave them on there. I forgot this dude's name. What's the H3 podcast?
I don't know. It's
on YouTube. It's basically called the H3 podcast. It's a dude and his wife. And the dude basically said on YouTube, oh my God, they're over there doing that. We should just go over and bomb them. Like he basically was saying to bomb like some conservative convention or whatever it was. Now look here. The conservatives be wilding out, saying some crazy shit on the internet sometimes.
Yeah.
But that right there to basically you're inciting violence with that statement and you have not had your platform taken. Andrew Tate has never made a statement like we should bomb those people. And this motherfucker from the H3 podcast did. So I can still see the biases that exist on the internet.
But that's just one statement though.
No,
I think
multiple statements.
With the H3 podcast?
Oh, multiple statements. Multiple weird statements. Because I've been looking through the internet and I looked at it today. He's made multiple statements that are not okay.
Yeah.
Even one that was on the how do you say it? Basically, he made a statement about men being dominators, which is what he correlated that to like rape, right? And he says, so it would only make sense for men to dominate women. You know what I mean? And he literally made that statement without like a frown on his face. He literally tried to make sense of rape. I'm not saying he was an apologist, but to make that statement and not give it more nuance, I'm like, yo, how does this nigga still have a platform?
Yeah.
That shit was weird, man.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like something that, liberal people wouldn't like. So I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I just think that the algorithms are like, and I don't even know if that's the algorithms at that point when they removing accounts. That's probably like people kind of like double checking to see, like, cause even like guys like Lil Boosie, like he's gotten his accounts taken down and stuff like that. But outside of all that, like a lot of the stuff that at least that I've seen in terms of Andrew Tate and the things that he said, just and at points like justifying rape and stuff like that.
That shit is wild.
Like it's I don't know. If you own Twitter, if you own Facebook, if you own YouTube, I think you have the discretion to not allow some of the most outlandish things on the platform.
Yeah, but who's creating the metric for what's outlandish? That's where the problem comes in.
Yeah,
it's
you own it though. Like you create it as the owner of the thing, and I don't know. Maybe some stuff slips through the crack, but I don't think because some stuff slips through the crack does that justify like keeping something that is whatever that word is, disparaging on your platform. Yeah,
but they've had a conversation about this on Joe Rogan where there was the Twitter, like the representatives that were there from Twitter, and there was a dude, I guess he was a right-leaning guy. They were going back and forth about what's this, what's that, and I agree with some of the statements, like whatever, when Trump would say things that were blatantly wrong, and they were like, hey, this is not correct. We have to get this out of there, because we realize the amount of people that follow him on here, this is dangerous. I think that when you have a message and you're like, you could be Lil Duval and say something and eventually they may take it down. But when you're Andrew Tate, when you're Donald Trump and you say something like that, they got to get you the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They got to get you the fuck out of here. The only thing that I don't like, and it's kind of fucked up, He's like, we could post content all we want and do this and that, but we have to realize we own nothing on there. We own nothing. I could wake up tomorrow, my Instagram is just gone. Every podcast we posted, everything gone.
Yeah.
They just delete both of us. We ain't got
Well, you own the master of it, right?
What do you mean?
That's the idea. You own the content. You don't own the platform. You don't own the what do you call that? Like the Google Drive or whatever. You don't own the memory that it takes up on Instagram, but you still own the picture. Like you're uploading the picture.
Yeah, but I better have the original. I better have the original document or picture.
Yeah,
because when they delete the account, they own all of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing, man. And I think that the unfortunate thing about these platforms is whatever metric they determine to say this is bad, this is good, that's up to them. And unless you literally squeeze the terms and agreements and you read them over and over, because they change. Yeah. They update and change. When they tell you to accept it, no one reads the terms and agreements. They just accept it.
Yeah, but the people that are like the average citizen, that's not happening to. The Andrew Tate, Donald Trump, these guys, these are like extremists, and they are and they understand what they're doing. The reason they garnered the reason Andrew Tate garnered a huge audience is because of the type of the tone of his content, the messages that he's putting out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get canceled because I'm not like, I don't be online having these crazy misogynistic views, or I don't incite riots or any of those things. Like that's not happening to like the average person.
No, I mean, look, his views are not way out of. I just think he got big, but you think about a guy like Kevin Samuels who had a lot of the same messages a lot of times, and I felt like in some cases Kevin Samuels made great points, but other times he's very disrespectful to women. He never was kicked off of any platforms. I think that it's due to the size a lot of times. Kevin Samuels did not remotely have a platform as big as Andrew. Andrew is the most searched person on Google. And when you have that much influence as the most searched person on Google, they don't want you to have more influence than they have. And that's one of the problems. Is they're gonna be, if you're a guy that if you're the most searched person, but you're, I don't know, you feed the homeless, they're not doing shit with you. They're gonna leave you alone.
Yeah,
because you're not doing anything that's gonna garner, that's gonna have any how do you say? It's gonna have any influence. And if there is any influence, it's just gonna be a positive influence. But if you're like, hey, I think women should be more feminine. I think women, I think that men should lose weight and get in shape. Like basically, it's the things he's saying that would put him in under the realm of fat phobic. Because I've heard a lot of the things he said, and I agreed with those things. But you have to understand the time we live in. You can't say you need to lose weight and get in shape. That's considered fat phobic. You can't say you should be a better leader and depression doesn't exist. He said depression doesn't exist. And that in itself can get you kicked out, because depression, they have medication for things like depression. You know, it's been clinically proven that depression's a thing. So that's being disproven by the platform, which says, hey, you're making false claims. You're saying depression isn't real. You're being fat phobic or whatever phobic, and we got to get you out of here. And there's probably a guy that's doing the same exact thing as him, but his platform is 75% smaller, and they allow him to exist because his
not making enough noise.
Thank you. He's not. His reach isn't big enough to really make noise.
But sometimes you do get those things though. Like you get those. They'll take your content down based off of like. That's what I'm saying. Andrew Tate is like. I'm sure there's executives like, we have to get this guy down. But then also there are like, you'll get a notification like, oh, you said, I don't know, some discriminant. You said you had hate speech in this post, and that's why we took it down. Like sometimes Instagram or YouTube will send you one of those things.
Now, when it comes to certain things he said, I guess there's a video that's out supposedly of him like smacking a woman around. I don't support that at all. You put your hands on women, I've completely unsubscribed to anything you say. Not, objectively speaking, because, at the same time, there's been some woman beaters that I've supported it and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
The James Browns of the world, James Browns are smacking women. James Brown, Fabulous, Guys like that. Fabulous went and smacked this girl up. I think he busted her teeth out. Teeth got replaced. Got some big old fake false teeth.
Yeah.
But he come out with a new album. They're like, yo, that new Fab go hard. It's like, y'all forgot how he put his woman down on the ground and beat her ass? Y'all forgot about that, huh? So yeah, man. I just will objectively say I don't agree with everything this man says. I don't disagree with him completely as a person, because what I've learned is people like that, people that I really don't fuck with, I still feel like they make valid points at times. Candace Owens, don't like her, but she's made amazing points. I've just got to be real. I feel like a lot of times she's been irresponsible as a black woman with some of the shit she said, but I feel like she's made some great fucking points at times. Donald Trump, completely irresponsible. Made some dumbass statements, but he's also made some very valid statements. When it comes to like, when it came to guns, where he talked about like the disparity between this gun and that gun and the age and whatnot, and why the person that used this gun only has to be this age. Why are you not talking about this? And I remember I reposted that statement on Instagram, and a bunch of liberal people was agreeing with it, like, yo, this is probably the only thing he said that made sense. So I tend to not disagree with the whole person, and I do that only because it keeps me honest. You know, it's some people like, I don't care what Donald Trump say, I ain't agreeing with nothing.
Yeah,
you're more of a problem with Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a huge bias in terms of the internet.
Yes,
and
there is.
But I also think that the conservative side of things is just generally more hateful. It's just like you don't. There's no. I don't think there's a liberal version of a Donald Trump out there.
No.
Somebody that's like inciting riots to beat up white people or something like that. That's just not how the cookie crumbles. But so there is a bias in there, but then there's also like the reality of it. Like, you know, a lot of these you know, the MAGA hat means there's a huge symbolism to that. You know what I mean? These people stormed the Capitol for a reason. It wasn't like they just got it, you know, it came to them in a dream. They were like, oh my gosh, let's go storm the Capitol. You know, these are things that have played out through very concise language that is, you know, being spewed on Twitter and, you know, in speeches and stuff. I
think conservatives, in a way, especially Donald Trump, incited that in a roundabout way. Basically, because you got to understand, even when you make statements to people, you could be galvanizing the wrong group of people. Like, that's why I believe that there's conservatives and Trump supporters. I think they two different people. I know some people that was conservative, they wasn't rocking with the shit that Trump was saying. There's like, this motherfucker's out of his mind. You look at Mike Pence. Mike Pence is like, fuck this, I'm out. I don't know if you caught that. Mike Pence is like, no, I don't agree with this at all. I'm out of here. So that's where the breakdown of Trump supporters and conservatives came off. Fox News, though, a lot of them be on some hateful shit. Like, today, we're going to see the baby killers out protesting. It's like, yeah, y'all doing too much.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, every woman out there that wants to fight for her birth rights or whatever is not always a baby killer. Now, some of them motherfuckers is killing babies, okay? They're going to keep it a buck. Some of y'all some baby killers, okay? Some of y'all should make a rap album with the parental advisory on the front and just call it Baby Killers. With
featuring the baby.
Featuring the baby. I get it. I got him. I killed the baby. Got it. Featuring little baby. You know what I get into killing the babies and killing the baby. Yeah, man. Yeah. What I've noticed, though, the unfortunate thing about it is that there are certain statements, certain views that are more right-leaning, and then a bunch of right-wing outlets will swoop in on that person and be like, he's with us.
Yeah.
See, that's what Andrew Schultz talked about. Like, it was a bunch of right-wing groups that was trying to get him to do interviews. He was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
A lot of people viewed him like that.
Yeah, but that's dumb. Andrew is like us. He's objective. So what happens is he has very liberal views, and he has some views that lean right. Like with me, I'm liberal in a lot of ways, and in some ways I lean right. Like when it comes to guns, I'm leaning more and more right because I feel like if somebody breaking your house, they need to be punished. It's been a couple people. I think it was one recently, a home invasion attempt. I think it was in Bakersfield. Somebody attempted to go into a home and got blasted.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't be coming in my house. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, what are you doing here? No, I'm blasting you. And like I said before on here, people getting a little too comfortable going in churches. They getting a little too comfortable going in all these places and shooting people up. We got to start punishing these people. That's definitely a right-leaning stance. I'm sorry. That, like, me making that statement, that falls into more of a right-leaning stance. But a person that's liberal is like, wait a minute, there are other ways. There are other ways that we can stop a mass shooter. No, it's not. We got to blast these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I'm on a podcast. Okay?
Yeah.
SoundCloud is not monitoring this enough.
They don't hear it.
Yeah.
This podcast too long.
So I can get my shit off on here.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't get it off nowhere else.
Yeah.
If you say certain words, did you know that they will mute your posts?
Yeah, certain hate speech. It was something that I
even if it's anything. If you even say the word gun, I remember one time I said, "Yo, I'm not like this super pro gun person. I'm definitely not anti-gun, but I really believe that we all deserve the right, whether it's liberal or conservative, to protect our families. And I don't care if whatever party that you claim, if somebody come in your house and you got a gun there, you're going to use it to protect your family." And then I went to that post 9 hours later, 0 views.
Yeah.
0 views. Nobody had seen it.
Yeah. It's just the algorithms. They, gun, even like some sexual terms. They even on TikTok there's like some porn stars that are on there and they have to I forget the word that they use instead of porn. But
corn.
I don't think it's corn.
Yeah, they do. They say corn and they put a corn on the cob there. I've been seeing them do it.
I haven't seen. That's not what I seen. Whatever the term that they were using, it wasn't corn. It was just something else. But they were using a term instead of like porn and sex, and it was like just very particular because they know that TikTok and all these.
Oh, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok says corn and segs. SEGGS.
Yeah, seg. Yeah.
Yeah, they put like I'm a corn star, and it'll be like literally a corn emoji because they don't say porn. But yeah, man. I guess what's going on, we've gotten so progressive as a country that people is a couple of things are true. People are too sensitive, and it's also true that people go out of their ways to offend people. Two things are very true. People will go out of their ways to say something homophobic, racist, sexist, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's also true that some motherfuckers too goddamn sensitive, and you can't say shit. Because you could say it in good faith, and motherfuckers will still be like, misogynist, you're misogynist. Like, did you just learn that word?
Yeah, they be calling you out, and you could be asking a question. That's a
Yeah.
misogynist question. Like, what?
Oh, you got the Andrew Tate up?
Yeah, I was trying to. He was talking about the where he was allegedly like beating the woman or whatever.
Oh, he's talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I guess he's still getting his shit off somehow. Somebody else is recording it or something.
So he doesn't have any socials. Like, what is?
Nah.
How are people finding him?
He's
He probably could do in person stuff.
He did an interview with Fox.
No, I'm saying like in person stuff, like go on tour or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Get in front of a live audience.
Yeah,
I'm sure people want to still hear what he has to say, whether you hate him or you love him. I'm sure people will still show up.
Yeah. I think that multiple things are true about the idea of masculinity. I think that there's a certain form of masculinity that's antiquated, right? And I think there's another form of masculinity that's definitely necessary when it comes to, just men being productive out in the world. And I think that we're also at the same time we're unlearning and learning healthy forms of masculinity, where it's like at the same time I'm lifting weights and providing for my family and being a leader, and I still go to boxing or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but I also cry when I need to.
Yeah.
I also go to therapy. That's like the updated form of masculinity. Some of the nicest like respectful, softest dudes that I know are some of the most masculine because they will fuck you up. Black belts in jiu-jitsu, motherfucking boxers, weightlifters, kind guys. That is the new updated like form of masculinity where I could wreck you if I wanted to, but I use my words. I go to therapy. I'm a father. I'm a leader. That is that. Like I think that's dope that we've kind of updated that. But the old form of masculinity was like, you shut your mouth when I'm speaking. You never cut off a man when he's talking. Okay? You stay in that kitchen and you make me sandwiches until I tell you can come out. That is antiquated. Like I feel like that is a toxic form of masculinity. Yeah. Like keep her in her place masculinity.
Yeah.
That is outdated. And I feel like sometimes Andrew will make these statements. Like he's like, when I tell her to make me 2 cups of coffee. I don't need 2 cups of coffee, but I have her make it because truth be told, if an invader comes in the house.
Yeah, that's a wild comparison. You want her to make you 2 cups of coffee because you have to, if somebody like slaps her on her ass or if somebody comes in the house or whatever, you got to defend them. It's just like, what?
Yeah, there's no real correlation there. I think that what it is like when I ask you for 2 cups of coffee, you just give me my 2 fucking cups of coffee. I never drink the second cup, but I want my 2 cups. And it's like, that is ego.
That's some weird. To me, I'm a person like, even as a child, when your parents tried to make you do things and it just didn't make sense to me. Like, why do I have to come in the room and get the remote for you when it's right there?
Oh man,
like that's the stuff. Like, when it comes to like taking care of your partner, like that's just part of the relationship, part of the dynamic. But when it's just like, do this for me just because I said so, it's just like, no, like it's stupid. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I got to call this out. Like, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
I remember one time I got so fucking mad at my dad. I was a junior in high school. And I was asleep. I was knocked out. It was probably 12 something, almost 1. I'm asleep in the back.
Wait, 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah, it was late. It was a school night. So it was like 12, right around there. And I was asleep. And my dad was like, Eddie. And then I went in the living room. I was like, what? He's like, you give me a cup of water? And I fucking lost it. I was like, what the fuck, man? And then just like the look on his face, like he knew he fucked up.
I wonder what crossed his mind. He probably was bored. He just wanted to talk to somebody.
Yeah, he wanted to like it was some joke or some shit that parents do. Like parents feel like they got the right to just always fuck with you, but they got to realize that you're like a young adult now, and they need to cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Dad. I love you. But yeah, he pissed me the fuck off that day. So I just went in there and got him a cup of water and put it on the table, and water was like shaking out of it. And he was like, Eddie, wait a minute. I just went in there and went to sleep.
That's crazy.
Oh, I was so fucking mad. And then when I was a kid, I was the remote. I don't think
you had to get up and
I don't think you understand what I mean when I say that. If you grew up in the 80s, in the mid 80s, early 90s, and you had those big tube TVs that were on the ground, they had a knob, they had a knob, and the knob would turn. You turn the channel with, right. And when that plastic knob broke,
you got like some pliers.
My dad would put some pliers on it, and be like, "Hey, Eddie, change the channel."
Yeah. And
then I would be changing it, and he'd be like, "Wait, go back to because we didn't have no fucking cable, so we only got so many channels. Like, wait, go back to 45." I'm like, man, like we only got like 9 channels, man. Just pick a channel, fuck.
Even when not that era, but a little bit after that, when you just before universal remotes came out, and you lost the remote, it'd be good riddance. You just gotta get up every time and change it.
Yeah, universal remote's been around for a minute though. I remember back in the day we had a big ass remote. That motherfucker was like that fat, and we changing the channel and shit. Yeah, that was back in the 90s. We had one. My dad had a remote that had duct tape on that motherfucker.
God dang!
I was like, damn, Daddy, you need to get a new fucking remote.
You'd have to program the universal remotes.
Yeah, the program. That was a trip. Those big tube TVs are so fucking heavy.
Yeah,
like
glass in there.
Oh my God, like it's crazy. It's crazy to me how much we have advanced as like a society.
Yeah,
like I grew up with those big giant tube TVs, and they was heavy as fuck in the front, and they were like lopsided. You remember those swivel TVs?
A swivel TV?
they would be on the ground, but it was in a big, like, it was surrounded by wood. It was a wood encased TV. It basically, and underneath it, it had a swivel. You could turn it left or right. Oh man, I'm surprised you don't remember it. Fuck. Yeah, but yeah, we had one, and when the TV blew out, we just put another TV on top of it.
Yeah, VCRs and stuff too.
Having all kind of shit, VCRs, DVD players went out. All we had back then, we had a VHS. You know it was before VHS, don't you? Betamax.
Nah, I don't know what that is.
Betamax. Motherfuckers old enough, they remember it. I was like, I came in 85, so Betamax is on its way out and VHS was coming in. So back in the day, we would go to like Blockbuster and shit. We get a bunch of like VHS tapes like The Lion King and all of that shit. And then at the end of the movie, we always had to rewind it.
Yeah, you got to rewind it. It tells you on there too.
What did it say in specific?
I don't remember.
Come on, Keith, man.
Yeah, I remember.
I know you're a sucker for nostalgia. You remember what it said on the package? Please be kind, rewind.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it said on all the little packages. Please be kind, rewind. And I never did. Y'all niggas about to watch the ending of this motherfucker first.
Yeah, that's trash. Take all that time to rewind. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it'd be literally going backwards. Motherfuckers going backwards. But you could,
and then you kind of see the movie.
Well,
that's what happens
you
too.
could do it in a way where it would rewind fast and you wouldn't see nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember those double VCRs?
With the double VCR?
Yeah, it'd be a VCR with 2 VHS slots.
I think vaguely, because that's how I remember. That's how niggas used to bootleg. Like, could you bootleg movies like that?
I think you could back
like,
in the day.
hit the record on one side and just be
Because they had blank discs back then. You put them in, and I look at those blank discs, man, and it was just like this big old encasement, this big old cassette. All the movie was basically a cassette. You know, I grew up listening to cassettes. It's a trip when we transitioned from cassette tapes to fucking CDs.
and now it's just streaming.
Do you know how expensive CD players was in the 80s, early 90s? Bro, that shit was fuck. That shit was like more expensive than today, pound for pound. They was like over $300 in the 80s.
The other day I was talking about how you used to have a CD player connected to the aux cord in your car.
Oh, hold on. Your mom just texted me. She said, tell Rolly to text Chugga because she's stressing over her school paper.
Oh, she texted me already.
Yeah, it says it's due. I think she still has to do something, please. Thank you. I said, yeah, no problem. I'm sitting right next to him.
Oh, she texted me.
Well, I didn't even know she was still in school.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, snap. What's her major?
She's in a nursing program.
She's still in the nursing program? I thought she was leaving and going back.
Yeah, she's still in it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, I think. I don't know exactly all the details, but
Dang. Well, I think we're coming to the end of this one because all of a sudden you got some family business we got to take care of now. But hey, man, we genuinely appreciate you guys. We're not gonna hold you any longer. Okay, want you to have a happy Monday.
it's getting hot in here too.
Yes, it's a little warm in here. We don't have the studio has its limitations. We don't have the whole cooling system yet.
Yeah.
So I'm getting hot because Keith, his hair, the heat is radiating off of Keith's hair. All that pomade in his hair is just really making things hot. But yeah. If you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We are out of here.
Peace.